Okay, so failed to show you these tools yet. So you have like the really flat back little line trimmers that are like hobby trimmers that have a nice flat edge. You can get right up to the surface and trim something off. You don't want to do any thick wire with this one. And then the bead making stuff, this also does like a nice snub tip on there. And then you have the round ends with bead making. And then this one here has no teeth at all. So I should have brought these out a little bit sooner to display. So I'll remember to do these tools when we do the toes. But I think to get this thing going here, um, kind of leaning towards skipping the toes, but maybe I should just finish them. So let's see here. So I'm going to snip that right to the end for each of these fingers. And we're going to put a little dot, a little circle at the end to keep the wire from poking through. And the fabric is pretty strong, so it hangs on there. And these are sharp these are really good little snips. So the fact they're not coming off right away is a good thing. And that pinky and the ring finger had to break some of that um, Sino, the crazy glue free. There we go. I see the cloth's coming off a little bit now. Ah, dang it. There we go. Scissors out. Yanking the cloth wrap off. Huh? So that's why we use it. So that protective layer. All right. And I think for the feet and the toes, yeah, it's pretty good. And the thumb should come out now that we're shaping it a bit more. The thumb's going to come out the bottom. 40. I go 45-degree angle out, 45-degree angle forward, and then where the thumbnail is 45 degrees. So that's some important stuff to remember. We'll get to that a little bit more detail when we start actually shaping um, sculpting the hands. There we go. Bring it over here. Bring it in a little bit better. There we go. And not make the same mistake and pull on the fabric this time. If it's not cutting through cleanly with the snippers, I'll stop. And if I have my little smaller scissors, it'd be a little easier, but whatever. I just have these handy. There we go. Trim those off so you don't rip the fabric off. And we have hands and fingers and ready to give him some toes. So there's our heel. There, you can see the ball of the foot, and then we'll just flip this over on the transparency and put it in like that. And we need to adjust ankles a little bit. He's got a pretty good pose going. Looks like he's getting a little bit pigeon-toed. So I can just kind of curl those back out a little bit again. Back in again there. There we go. Okay. Voila. Those are finished trimming up the fingers and ready to do the toes. All right, so let's grab next set of floral wire, and I had some pieces remaining I could use still. Yes, this one. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm almost going to run them like the tendons of the feet. I'm going to place them where I want them, and let's see if I can use just the weight over here. Papers are curling everywhere. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to use the weight of that one to hold it in place. Go ahead and get both feet down, firmly on the ground. There we go. That's still not working. Let's see what's going on. Oh, this one came up slightly. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this time I'm just going to lay them on there and adhere them, which is much easier than doing the twisting and twining, but or lashing is another word for it. But yeah, it's okay. So give myself plenty of excess um, wire on here. Dang it. It does not cut through the cloth layer barrier very well. Guess I should have saved all those little pieces. Okay, so there's one and two more. I cut through all the way. Let's see if these are long enough. Another one. And go on there. And there we go. And a long piece here. Cutting a few more. And after you do your first puppet, Dexter goes way faster. And I'm taking my sweet time here. I'm talking a lot. Um, I'm thinking the whole time. There's a lot goes into this. But once you do this one, and bam, the second one's way faster, and then so et cetera, right? It gets faster and faster for you. So it does become much easier. I think I'm gonna pull those shorties out. No sense. Should just left a long one. And let's do this. I'm gonna dab the top of the foot here and lay them on, and then spray them. See if I can get them to stay a little bit, and then we're gonna do the JB quick here, and maybe even a little bit of the other epoxy. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I just did a test on the toes here. So I laid them down, put the super glue on, and sprayed. And as I'm doing this, your design can change based on the puppet. And I think since I'm going through the exercise of putting these toes on, might as well make them longer and actually more visible to animate. So I'm going to make his feet, make his toes long, at least long enough to match the extra wire that we just put in there, and make sure that I remember to do that on the other side. So um, transparency for the feet and the hands. There we go. Take my little light stick tape off and just flip it over. You can see good enough, sure. Um, Save some of those little chunks. I don't know if it's worth they're worth saving really. There we go. Put the other foot down. And yeah, a little harder to see, but that's all right. I think you guys can see all right. You get the idea. It's more of the technique than seeing exactly the detail I'm doing. And a little bit, don't twist that out. The pigeon toe thing's kind of still, want your neutral pose to be really neutral. And set that on top of that one. Okay, positioning. This is the tie down, so this is important. This is where the heel's gonna be pressing the weight, hold the weight of the puppet. All right, I think that's pretty darn good. Yeah. All right, take the floral wire once again, and maybe this time I could put a bead of super glue on top of the wire first, and then lay each wire down. Let's see how this strategy works. Like I said, I haven't done these before. I did did some claws for a cat, did a paws for a couple monsters and creatures and tentacles. But human toes are like, I don't even think animated them digitally, like for Maya or 3ds Max or CG stuff. So I'm really scared this is going to run down and stick badly to the paper. So do this quick. Okay, it's nice and jelly. That's a good sign. It's going to let me move it around a little. Cool, thank you. All right, and make sure I got the right snips here for the job. I tried, by the way, off camera to use scissors, and these pieces went flying across the room, so I don't think that's the best way to do it either. Shit. And just a tiny bit. I should have put a little stronger um, clamp to hold the other side down. I think that would have helped a bit. But there we go. And maybe if I want that to come out, and you could even give them a little spin too. So just a little faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4 more. And knowing that that pinky toe goes back actually needs a longer stick. I put a longer stick on the pinky toe. So that way it would have something to stick to up the side because they kind of go off the side. And then each one of these I'm going to give a little twirl in the super glue and then set it down. The next one, give it a nice long twirl. Oh, it's actually hardening up now. Ooh, that one was a little long. And this one here, I should have saved the long one for the pinky toe. Don't harden yet. I'm coming. Yeah. And there we go. Let's see if I get the end of that toothpick again. I'll just go straight over the top actually. Why not? And if you have a new bottle, it makes it way easier. All this hissing and squeezing I'm doing. I just got some new bottles, and once again, I should get up off my butt and go get them, get the new one. But I'm like determined to finish this thing, be done, and start putting the foam on and build up the skin for the puppet. I had to pause while this stuff came out. Like, oh my god, this is taking forever. I thought it was coming out. The air back in, and one more big hiss. There we go. And then as I lay it down, I'm going to run it along the side. Looks all right. And I might have to retire that bottle after today. Yeah, still some in there. All right. Then we will use our toothpick. Let's see, I'm going to slide this underneath. There we go. And just kind of make sure we got plenty below and underneath. And now I think I can safely take this up. Maybe poke at it from the underside just a bit. All right, let's do it. Sweet. Got toes. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the drawing once again, right? There it is, kind of visual development lessons as well as we're designing this construction and fabrication. Learning to develop a visual look and feel for a character. So maybe I already trimmed the fingers, but he's going to be all about the feet. I'm done with this one. So dab, sure. Paper towel, terry cloth, whatever you got handy. Dab, 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 dab. Really squeeze. Sweet. Okay. And double check that side, how far beyond we are. We're pretty far beyond some of them. Okay, and I could almost mark those with the animation pencil if I was smart. Let's see, go in here and say where our end of our toe is going to be, the new end of our toe. All right, so it's going to be maybe out here. Yeah, super long. There we go. Come around over here. And now having those marks down, seem a little short on that pinky toe. That's all right. Really stuck. It's releasing somehow. I feel like I'm trimming someone's toenails right now. There we go. So those did not go through all the way. I'm going to go back through, flip again, flip, clip, snippety snip. Maybe we're doing, like I mentioned in an earlier video about anatomy, maybe we are having the second toe be a little longer than the big toe, which is how some people's toes actually are. There we go. I should have my little scissors out, but be sure and bring them to class. There we go. This one and this one. There we go. Sorry about the auto, what you call it? Autofocus maybe isn't the best today, but yeah, pretty happy with that. Come back over here, maybe trim off some of the excess on the back side so it's not going to get, it could leave it. You know, I could even bend them underneath for strength perhaps. The worst idea, so, oh shit, yeah, I'm breaking them off. Okay, no, stop what I'm doing. All right. Yeah, there's another couple steps I got to do. I'm going to put down the JB weld and on the knuckles in there, and then we can put the magic sculpt on the torso and the pelvis. All right, next lesson.